In a faraway kingdom called Persia, long ago, there lived a man named Daniel. He wasn't a king, a soldier, or a mighty hero. Daniel was simply a wise and honest man, someone who worked quietly, did his job well, and trusted God with his whole heart. Even though he had been taken from his homeland years earlier, he became known throughout the kingdom for his loyalty and strong character. The kings of Persia trusted him more than any other official, and this is where our story begins. King Darius, the ruler at that time, noticed how dependable Daniel was. Daniel was organized, truthful, and always respectful. Because of this, the king planned to put Daniel in charge of the entire kingdom, second only to the king himself. But not everyone celebrated this idea. Some other officials were jealous. They didn't like that Daniel had earned so much respect, especially since he wasn't even from their land. They wanted the power for themselves. They watched Daniel closely, waiting for him to make a mistake, but he never did. He didn't lie, cheat, or misuse his position. Everything he did was right. Finally, the jealous officials realized something important. They would never find anything wrong with Daniel unless it had something to do with his faith in God. And that thought gave them a dangerous plan. They went to King Darius pretending to be loyal advisors. They told the king, "Your Majesty, we think it would be wise if, for the next 30 days, everyone in the kingdom prayed only to you. No one should pray to any god or any person except you. And if someone breaks this rule, they should be thrown into the lion's den." King Darius liked the idea. It made him feel important, and he didn't see the trap hidden behind the suggestion. Without thinking deeply, he signed the law. Once it was signed, there was no way to change it, not even for the king himself. Daniel heard about the new law, and he understood exactly what it meant. But Daniel also knew what mattered most. Just as he had always done, he went to his room, opened the window toward Jerusalem, and prayed to God 3 times a day. He didn't try to hide it. He didn't pretend. He simply continued doing what was right. The jealous officials sneaked over, caught him praying, and rushed to tell the king. When King Darius heard that Daniel had broken the law, his heart dropped. He suddenly understood that he had been tricked. He respected Daniel deeply and didn't want him to die. All day long, he searched for a way to save him, but the law could not be changed. At sunset, Daniel was brought to the lion's den. The king looked at him with deep sadness and said, "Daniel, may your God, whom you serve so faithfully, rescue you." Daniel was lowered into a pit filled with hungry lions. A heavy stone was rolled over the entrance, and the king sealed it with his royal stamp. That night, the king could not sleep. He refused his dinner. He turned away from entertainment. He paced the floor, hoping and praying that somehow Daniel's God would protect him. At the first light of morning, King Darius rushed to the lion's den. His voice shook as he called out, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God been able to save you from the lions?" For a moment, there was only silence. Then suddenly, a voice came from inside. "Your Majesty, my God sent his angel to shut the lions' mouths. They have not hurt me because I am innocent. I did nothing wrong against you." The king was overwhelmed with joy. Daniel was lifted out of the den, and there wasn't a single scratch on him. King Darius then gave an order for the jealous officials who had plotted against Daniel. They faced the consequences of their actions, and the lions that had been calm all night were no longer peaceful. After seeing what Daniel's God had done, the king made a new command for the entire kingdom. He said that everyone must honor the God of Daniel because he is the living God who rescues and saves. Daniel continued serving faithfully, and he lived a long, successful life. And so the story of Daniel in the lion's den reminds us of something powerful. Faithfulness matters. Daniel stayed true to God even when it was risky, even when others tried to destroy him, and even when everything seemed hopeless. Courage matters. Daniel didn't hide who he was or what he believed. Trust matters. Daniel trusted God completely, and God protected him in the most impossible situation. And finally, this story reminds us that God is present even when we feel surrounded by our own lions. Whether those lions are fear, stress, unfair treatment, or difficult challenges. Like Daniel, when we stay faithful, stay honest, and continue trusting God, we can find strength, peace, and protection in every situation.